Hello. Thank you for clicking on this video if you did. My name is Toby Piquel, and I got 5th place at the Yuma Regional in Arizona. I was playing Yummy, Mitsurugi, Sky Striker, Azamina, just like more of a diet version of the combo slop deck that Triff topped the not the YCS, the Triff won the regional with. One of my friends actually came up with the idea for this list. I just added a few cards and changed a few things because I liked the ratios a bit for it. But besides that, special shout outs to Super Sulcata for giving me the idea for the list. He's the GOAT. Shout out to my other people from the Trips Discord server. They were great to be able to hang out with them and see them. Shout out Christian, Rudy, my homies, my best friends who I went to the event with, literally my besties. Besides that, shout out to my girlfriend and shout out to my family. Let's get into this. So we're gonna start with the yummy part of the engine. We have 3 Cupsy, 2 Marsh, Lollipo, Cookie, Minion, and Surprise. With Camellia now, you don't really have to play as many yummy names anymore. I just cut like 1 Marsh pretty much. The original list was only playing 1 Marsh. You could do that. I like it because sometimes you need the follow up off Cupsy, and then Cupsy adding this, because sometimes you're not gonna be able to summon back the Marshmallow. And so Cupsy add this, and now you start your turn with summon Marshmallow, add back Surprise to your hand, and that's very impactful, especially in a grind game. But that's like pretty much the yummy part of the engine. Let's get into the Mitsurugi stuff. Habakiri, easily the best starter. Murakuma and Futsu. You don't really summon Futsu most of the time. He's just kind of there to be like a name you can trigger or add to your hand. Or it's literally just because if you tribute, you can search any of the cards. So it's easily like probably the better one. And then for the like kind of bricks, Saji and Aramasa. Saji's the only one that's really kind of a brick, just because like this doesn't really do anything by itself. Whereas Aramasa at least like does whole Mitsu combo, which can lead into Yummy, which is really nice. Um, and then we have for the spells, Ritual, 3 Prayers, and then we do play Mirror. Honestly, I would count pre-prep in this category too. Pre-prep might as well just be a Mitsurugi spell at this point. A lot of the times, I don't really do the combo line with going for Mirror, Reborn Back 2, and going Zombie Vampire, just because Camellia is a thing, and normally you can get about 3 spells in Graveyard before even having to do that. So, I like to hold the mirror in the deck for later turns. It just helps you like cleanly go for a game a lot more. Always have an add-in deck for like your tributes. And then the last card is the Great Purification. This card protects you. It just insulates you from like Droplet, just absolutely cooking your board, or just dumb board breakers. Especially if you face like a 6-card pile mirror, you're always just gonna want like another hard Omni along with like Murakumo making them discard, and then you have Sylvia, and then you have Zaylin, and then you have like all your yummy interruptions. It's just with this on top of it, normally they just can almost never push through the board. But yeah, that's the Mitsu portion, and then we got the Diabel Star engine. This stuff is really good for going first. It feels a bit worse going second, but honestly, it's not the worst. It's 2 Diabel with the 1 Deception, 2 Wanted, Elzetti, and Hollowed. Honestly, going forward, I'd probably play 2 Deception. Opening Deception plus like a Mitsu name is just really good. Because, like, obviously, if it's not Haba, if it's Futsu or Murakumo, it gets you to Habakiri just by, like, Deception tributing it, and you just get so much free value out of it that your opponents don't really know how to interact with you. Because unless it's Droll, it's like, sure, they Ash Deception, and then it's like, trigger the name, search Haba, and then you have Hollowed in hand, plus, like, Habakiri now. And if your opponent didn't Ash the Deception, you just immediately slam this, summon the Omni, and now your whole plays are insulated, so they can't really interact with you. Um, Besides that, Hollowed Azamina, I really like this card over playing the quick play, especially in this build where it's more greedy. It allows you to always get to wanted, which means you always get the draw, which is very important. And And then we have Souls. This is like just the one D-mod card. Souls is probably one of the better MVPs of the deck. Always like you almost always have like two like shitterton like spells or traps that like don't really do anything at this point in the game, and then you're like, cool, send two, draw two. And then you have like really good non-engine you can draw into, or even drawing into more engine is fine as well. Like the Mitsu cards, drawing into more of them is never a bad thing. And then for the striker engine, you have engage plus hornet drones. The list originally wasn't playing engage and was just playing drones. I just really like always being able to go for the draw. The draw feels very important, especially in this deck. I really want to make sure I always have more cards than my opponent, and just always have like extra cards to discard, maybe for Starham, for Cup's Yummy Way, for other effects that I might need. Arcilla or whatever, sending to search the light spellcaster. You always just want to make sure you have something to discard or send. So getting the extra draw is very important, and it's really easy to get exactly 3 spells in graveyard and then Camellia this engrave. And then for the non-engine, we have 3 Ash. We're mainly just playing ways to like stop chummies. So we have the 3 Ash, just to try to stop it. We have 2 Droll. This is for like the combo slop decks. We really just want to Droll them or like interact with them in weird ways, or possibly draw. I have 2 Fu in the list. You just gotta have 4 ways to try to stop them. If they get a full board you, they get a full board you. It's fine. We play for the sideboard anyways. It's not the end of the world. And then that's it for kind of the hand traps portion. Yeah, we don't play much. Normally, like if this resolves against combo slop, you probably win. If this resolves against combo slop, you probably win. It doesn't really matter because we're playing 45 cards. We have a higher chance of seeing these. Obviously, it's not going to be an amazing percentage, but like it's still a percentage to draw these. Droplet. This card is probably one of the better cards of the format. Against Draco Tail, this card just feels amazing right now. Dodging Flame in this deck is very imperative because you have so many spells you just want to resolve. And then just being able to negate their on-field stuff, because like the moment their back row's gone, they actually do have still like a few decent effects on field. They could have Malulu set up, they could have Blazing Cartesia set up, they could have like the Synchro set up. There's a lot that Brian Dracotail actually can do that like does impact you, and because we're playing Yummy, like them summoning a Fallen and being able to like fuse off stuff is very important for them. And the Alba guy literally gets rid of 2 things, which is no, no, no. Don't want that to happen. And then last 2 cards just for installation. We always want to make sure we try to win going first, because if we win game 1, we probably win the match. That's just how this deck goes. Call by crossout. We main the 2 Droll for the crossout, and then the 2 Fua obviously also for crossout. I like the 2 ratio a decent bit, it just kind of confirms you hopefully won't draw the 2 Fualos going first with crossout, so yep. And then that's going to be it for the main deck. 45, it's pretty solid. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to play full 60, but I didn't want to open another box of sleeves because I'm lazy, so it is what it is. Into the extra, we have Yummy Snatchy, Cupsy, Lollipo, Cookie. This is pretty like standard now. The only other Link one we play is Kagari. I thought I'd find it more weird, but I don't know. I feel like I can always go for the Lollipo line, like uninterrupted at that point, just because normally I do the other engines first. And if I'm not doing them first, it's like I don't know, better have it. Like my hand has to be like completely terrible to be like doing all the yummy stuff first. And then Starham, Arcilla, Diabel, Zaylin. This stuff is a lot more common now. Starham, you don't really need March or anything. You can just use Starham. You have 20 different ways to draw cards. You have like so many different ways to like get extra cards. Obviously, I'm exaggerating on the 20 bit, but you always have ways to get extra cards in your hands, and you're almost always gonna have like one like kind of whatever card that's like worse than the others, and you just discard that, summon back your guy, and then you're like, cool, boom, level 1 plus the synchro, you summon back, and then you make this, and then that's like this is the full Diabel star stuff and everything. So. And then for easily, some of the best cards come out in a minute. Camellia. This card's not fair for Yummy. It's probably going to get drones either banned or Cupsy Yummy Way banned. I will miss them when they go, but it's okay. This is particularly why I played Engage, just because dumping Engage on 3 spells and getting a draw is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, It's insane. Drawing in this deck, you have so many good cards. It's kind of insane. And then for the Diabel Star stuff, you have RC Lago and Sylvia. I like this just because you can search wanted off of it whenever you like start just Diabel Star itself. And then that allows you to like make SP in certain situations and then be able to put this back and then this can just add you the wanted and then you just go like boom, fuse, slam down wanted, add another Diabel Star. You just always have cards, which is very important. And then Dmod, this is literally just here to add souls. Genuinely, Souls Draw 2 is just so broken that like this guy normally just gets linked off into like an SP or some shit. Like it never actually like does anything that crazy. Vampire plus SP. I had Vampire come up, I think, a singular time, but it came up because of my own misplay of sequencing. Um, I just had an extra body on my board, so I couldn't do the striker line, but I could have avoided having the extra body on my board if I just thought for like 2 more seconds. A part of me kind of wishes this was either Dynamundo or IP. Because the board is so crazy and you have so many extra bodies, honestly, just having an IP like in the EMZ to be able to go into an SP would be good, or like just linking to a Dynamundo up here would make it where your opponent has to have 2 interruptions for your Mitsu cards, which is like unfair. But that's it for the extra. Besides the vampire, like everything else feels like pretty like standard. Like everything feels pretty clean at this point. I don't really know what more you could change about it. For the side deck, this is where stuff kind of gets a little, not like that crazy, but like Illusion Gate, Raigeki. There's a very specific reason I played one Illusion Gate and one Raigeki, and it's because Raigeki can't get stopped by Bell, can't get stopped by like Caesar, can't get stopped by, pretty much can't get hand trapped. So in hands where your hands can push through hand traps, but their board is what the issue is, you Geki them. Like full like sometimes because your Yummy cards like the Yummy matchup, you just Yummy cards can't be Yummy cards half the time. And so you need something to go with it. And so if your opponent does have a Yummy end board and you've already pushed through like 1 or 2 things, and you need this card to resolve and not get like negated by your opponent having like a Bell or something in hand, like I'm searching Geki, I'm Geking them. I'm not even going for Illusion Gate. But that was my reasoning behind one Raigeki, one Illusion Gate. And then we have Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, Lightning Storm. Just solid blowout cards. Just trying to go second, slam this down, boom, boom, blow up everything. And then to try to make them resolve against Draco Tail, we have Double Cyclone. Because we're on 45, I just wanted more ways to be able to dodge the spells, which is pretty impactful. So this card just low-key MVP against them. And then we have easily... Dude, this card overperformed today was insane. Oh my god. This card felt so good the whole event. Fiendsmith Yummy, whole board gone. If you pair it with this, they can't stop it. Draco Tail do this, they can only horn their guy back and they have to like try to like manage their resources. You're playing like 3 to 4 different engines. You genuinely, if you open 2 engines against their like only hand push, you win the game like 90% of the time. And then our going first cards, we have DDG, Thrust, Talents of Croaky. There's a world where you definitely go up to 3 thrusts. You really want to see thrust post side from when you go first, because normally people have a lot more chummies in. They almost always have droll in. Some people bring in nib. Um, I like holding my thrust for like most of my combos, seeing if they nib me or bisteel me or anything, because if I don't open Mitsu combo, I just want this to turn into Mitsu combo. Like so there are some like game states like I could like be like, oh, I'll thrust at DDG, or if they mag me, I'm like, cool, thrust search, prep, and then I prep and do the Mitsu combo. And honestly, that's like almost better than like DDGing them half the time. Besides that, I think that is it. The list was a lot of fun. There's a few things I learned like kind of while playing the deck and then a bit before when I was testing a bit online that I'll go over. Give me one moment. So the deck profile portion of the video is pretty much over. If you want to click off now, you can. I just wanted to show how I end on the Mitsu Trap plus Quick Play spell. while not playing Kusanagi or anything like that. I don't know if this is already like known like completely too well, but I thought I'd show it off just in case because I found it really neat. You pretty much just start with your Mitsu stuff like normal. You just like summon out Saji, dump Saji, Saji add the Writ, then you ritual summon out the Murakumo, and then you just use Habakiri to add your prayers. So now we have this part, and then from here you just like start playing with like your yummy stuff if you open the yummy stuff. You can do this with start with Cupsy or Diabel, either or is perfectly fine. This guy is going to go ahead and add your surprise. Then you just link it off into the Yummy Snatchy, and then I just have no room for this. And then you just go Snatchy effect, place the field spell, then you field spell back out the Cupsy, and then you just synchro these guys off into Lollipo, use the Lollipo effect, summon out the two guys, and then you just synchro some of them back out into Cupsy. Cupsy Yummy Way, and then use his effect, and then you just add probably Cookie. Depending on the matchup, you can add Lollipo too. I wouldn't stress too much about it either or. Then you can just discard Marsh, and now you can special summon Cookie, and then turn. I like turning the Lollipo into it. Into Der Starham. You can discard whatever extra card you have, it just doesn't really matter. And then you summon back out the Lollipo. And now from here, you just go Surprise, special summon back out Marsh. Use the effect, add it back to your hand. Turn this, Lollipo and Starham into Arcelia. Boom. Use the effect, send the minion. And then you add your Elzetti, because this card is broken. And then you go Elzetti effect, summon itself out for free. Turn these into your Diabel. And this is like pretty stock standard combo line, I'd like to say, for like the Yummy Azamina deck. It's pretty simple, nothing you have to think about too hard. Obviously you want to chain block the Elzetti, so you just go 1 Elzetti, 2 Diabel. And then you're normally just going to target the minions, add it back to your hand. Then we add Wanted. And you're like, cool, minion back to hand, I have another free discard. Then you're just like, boom, Wanted, add a Diabel. And now from here, you can just send the minion that you added back, summon Diabel out, and then trigger the Diabel effect to set your Deception. And now you're just going to use the Deception just to tribute the Murakumo to add Hollowed. So you're getting double value out of the Deception, not having to get rid of any like regular monster piece or anything. And then, oh my god, the blur is so bad there, holy moly. And then you just trigger Murakumo, it summons back out, and then this gets you access to Mitsu Trap as well. So your opponent has to fight through like 3 different forms of Mitsu Interruption. They're going to be down a card because of Murakumo. They have to play through the Omni Negate of the trap, and then they also have to play through prayers like reborning it at any point. Because you can trigger the Murakumo to come back and then add another prayers for follow-up, but you don't have to trigger the blow-up, and then you just like prayers tribute the Murakumo, and then summon it back off the prayers, and then the whole board goes by. But the combo from here is pretty standard, so I won't go like too crazy about it, but this is like fire. I really like the idea of using Deception to tribute the Murakumo, so make sure you have both points of interaction set up on top of it. And then from there, like, your board's like almost unbeatable. Just like banish this, summon this, search souls, you get another free body, you get to end on SP as well if you want to. You can use Hollowed to summon out Arceolago. Now, if you were really greedy and main deck the trap as well, you could play that. Personally, I just like adding the second Wanted here, and then turning these guys into SP, because that seems kind of the best, kind of the bang for the buck. And then you just get the Hollowed back to your hand by putting the Arceolago back in your extra. And then you're just like, boom, activate this, send the Wanted. You've already used it, so you can't get like crazy value out of it. And then summon the Sylvia. And now you have this forehand. You only had to discard 1 card for the Starham. So, and now you get to pretty much replace that card by Wanted, putting back Deception, and Drawing. So you're actually like about even. And then depending on the matchup, you could have switched if you did Cupsy or Lollipo to add like play for adding another one on your opponent's turn by just minion putting it back. Because you still have minion engraves. You can put back minion, a synchro, and then either Cupsy or Marsh, either or. Uh, Honestly, you can do either or, it's fine. And then you have souls for follow up. You have like these three cards. Realistically, from here, your opponent's just like never really gonna be able to out your board. And you still have like three other cards. So this board could be even crazier. You have like you just have so many cards over your opponent that like what do they do about it? You could have a Habakiri here. You could have like anything. Like having Haba actually online if you open enough Mitsu cards is really funny because like your opponent just can't beat over anything half the time. The attack decrease does actually come up. There have been games I've just prayers summoned back out a Habakiri and it's just stare down my opponent's monsters, making them unable to beat over my stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off real quick. If you did stay and watch that, thank you. I hope you have a lovely night and peace.